Letting Kohaku-san take care of Akiha, I come down to the first floor. I can't treat Akiha's wounds, so I want to help her in some other way. If I search... Oh shit, I forgot something. I'll be right back. I forgot that in order to... Because this program does not run very well with OBS. And by program, I mean Tsukihime. I have to have it on full screen, which means I have to have Twitch chat on my phone. There we go. Alright, excuse me. If I search the old man's room, I might be able to find something to help her. He was the head of the Tohno family, after all. He should have recorded some way to fight against the Tohno blood. Damn! I guess I can't find it that easily. I sit down and take a breath. The old man's library is really big, and it takes a lot of time to look through each book. Besides, most of them are just educational reports, and it looks like information on the Tohno family isn't here. The only thing that I found was this journal-like book that belonged to the old man. I see. This looks to be a record of the time after I was taken into the Arima household. I flip through the pages, and then I see Akiha's name, and I turn back. Let's see. Report on Akiha's spasms. What is this? I start reading it carefully. The old man looked at it this way. Akiha became one of strong Tohno blood right after I left. To live, Akiha needs more heat than a normal person. If you say that the heat Akiha needs is 10, food only gives her 6 or 7, and the extra heat she needs is the reason for her body's extra burden. The problem is why she needs that much heat to stay alive in the first place. It looks like it took the old man some time to figure it out. After a few years' worth of pages, the answer is finally written down. Half of her life? I don't think I get what he means. It says that out of all the energy she has, she's only using half of it. To rephrase it so it's easier to grasp, it's like she's moving around normally, while only using half of her body. But of course, it's impossible to do that. That's why Akiha's body consumes heat from some other source to try to make up for that. But no human can do that. It's superhuman power. The more she needs heat from her surroundings, the more the Tohno blood awakens as it grows less and less human. What's written after that looks like Akiha's growth record. I read on, but find the information becoming less and less useful to me. I throw the diary onto the table. Damn! Even if you know the reason, it's no help if you write down the way to fix it. It's no help if you don't write let me try that again. Even if you know the reason, it's no help if you don't write down the way to fix it. Stupid old man. Or was it impossible for even the old man to find a way to help her? But only half of her energy. I wonder what she's doing with the other half. It seems simple. If Akiha can use all of her energy for herself, then she wouldn't have to take in heat from someone else. I don't think there's anything else for me to find here. I should go outside and let myself unwind. I'm worried about Akiha. When I look up, I realize I'm in the detached building. I didn't feel like going back to my room. I'm sorry, I'm at the detached building. I didn't feel like... fuck. Wow. I'm out of it today. I didn't feel like going back to my room, so I naturally came back here instead of the mansion. I go in. I sit down on the tatami mat and stare at the ceiling. I let out a deep sigh. I feel relaxed in here. This was my room when I was a kid. This was the room Akiha came to when I was sick. I start to remember little by little. When I was adopted 10 years ago. When I lived in this room, and the days I spent playing with Akiha and Shiki. He was saying Nanaya. Nanaya. Written as 7 nights in Japanese. I guess it's my real last name, but it doesn't really matter now. A kid named Nanaya Shiki was eliminated 8 years ago. His last name, his real name, even his memories. I can't even remember my parents' faces. I don't want to remember those things anyway. I see. This knife is not my old man's, but really my... I take the knife out of my pocket. Nanaya is written on the handle. In that regard, this was really my true father's. Tohno Makihisa had some human emotions after all. He should have eliminated everything that would lead me to Nanaya Shiki, but he still left me this knife. And then, something drips onto my hand. What? I feel my cheeks. Why? I'm not happy or sad, but that's weird. Why am I crying? There's no reason to, but I cannot stop crying. I wonder how long it's been. Night should have gone by. It must be almost sunrise. It's Sunday today, huh? Well, even if it was a weekday, I would have skipped school and stayed with Akiha. Because it's Sunday, it's more convenient. Kohaku-san said that she should stay in bed. How depressing. I don't know how many weeks it will take for Akiha to heal. What can I do until she gets better? I don't even have to think about it. I must find and kill him, once and for all. He's not human anymore. No, even if he is, even if people tell me I'm a murderer, I can't let Shiki stay alive. Someone comes into the building. Could it be Kohaku-san? I hear small, light footsteps getting closer, until finally, the sliding door opens. I can't believe it. It's Akiha. Akiha! Are you alright? Yes, my wounds have healed now. Healed? No way. That wound wasn't anything that would heal in a night. Besides, Kohaku-san said it would take weeks to heal. To heal that fast is not human. Then I finally realize it. No, I wish I didn't. Then Akiha's hair is still red. It's exactly what you think it is, Nissan. My wound is healed. A wound which wouldn't heal this quickly for a normal person. Akiha's hair is red in the morning sunlight. But I've no interest in that. What are you saying, Akiha? If your wound is healed, that should be good enough. I hate the Tohno blood, but if it helps out like this, then it's a good thing. You don't have to force yourself. I didn't come here to be a bother to you. I came to tell you a few things while I'm still sane. What? She said while she's still sane. Listen to me, Nissan. I've been lying to you for so long now. There's no way for me to, excuse me. There's no way for me to make up for that. But I have to at least tell you the truth. I cannot disappear like this. Akiha's eyes shine, as if she's about to cry. If she looks at me that way, there's no way I could stop her. Alright, I'll listen. But Akiha, I'll stay as Tohno Shiki, no matter what you tell me. Maybe you don't have to tell me at all. Sorry. All the same, do you still want to tell me about it? Nissan, you... No? Shiki likes to talk a lot, and he told me most of it while you were unconscious. But if you want to tell me about it, I'll listen. If you tell me yourself, I think it would help me understand. Akiha looks aghast for a moment, and then she bites her lip and looks at me. Nissan, you were adopted 10 years ago from the Nanaya family. I don't know why Father adopted you, but he introduced you to us as our new family member. Akiha squints, as if pained, and continues on. I've heard that the Nanaya family was the total opposite to our kind. There are those like the Tohno family with mixed blood, and then there are those who oppose them. Nissan, you wouldn't like it if there were lions and tigers in your school, right? We humans tend to eliminate people who are different from us, or anyone who is superior to us. It's pretty easy to understand why, if you think about it. It's not that they eliminate the different people because they hate them. Instead, it's because if those different people were in our society, it would endanger the lives of normal people. So, there will always be those who eliminate the non-humans. The Nanaya family was special among those who stood against the non-humans. They didn't use magic, but instead relied purely on their own abilities. The Tohno family became special by introducing inhuman blood into their bloodline. The Nanaya family became special through willpower and determination. Tohno and Nanaya were enemies, but we were actually close in a way, just by our nature. So if you happen to have any special powers, it's not from the blood of Tohno, but from Nanaya. It's written in your blood to kill anything that is inhuman. Nissan, there was that time when you ran away from me, remember? I realized it then. The Nanaya blood in you is still working, and it reacted to me. She's talking about that night. She's right. I did feel a homicidal impulse when I saw Akiha's red hair. I thought I was a killer for some reason. But that means... Yes, you only feel that way towards abnormal people like me and Shiki. But that's why you were like death to us. Even though the people of Nanaya have stopped their work, I think it was still a threat just to have their blood around. Why? Suddenly my heart is beating very loud. I have a bad feeling about this. I cannot let Akiha go on. No. It's more that I don't want to hear it from her. It's all right. You don't have to go on. It's already over, so there's no point. It has nothing to do with me or you. But Nissan, I don't care about the Nanaya family. I don't know them. If you're the head of the Tohno family, you should only worry about the Tohno family. Akiha bows her head and gives a reluctant nod. Then, let's talk about us. Nissan and I, and Shiki, we were raised as true siblings. You and Shiki got along well, and I was kind of jealous of you guys. But everything went wrong when that happened to Shiki. 8 years ago, Shiki's Tohno blood awakened, and he killed me. Yes, but your life was saved. Things didn't end that easily, though. We took care of Shiki, but we couldn't kill the eldest sibling of the Tohno family. We're a pretty powerful family socially, so we couldn't just tell everyone that our eldest son, the only successor, died. So our father came up with it. Let Nissan be Tohno Shiki, and let Shiki be and let Shiki be the adopted son who died in an accident. Akiha speaks these words, as if hoping they will damn Tohno Makihisa. So that's it. Shiki and I reversed roles. The one that was killed lived on, and the one who died, and the one who did the killing died. That's the relationship between Shiki and I. I'm sorry. Nissan, the boy named Shiki no longer exists. He died 8 years ago. It wasn't just the end of his life. but the end of his existence. His name, past, household, and even his memories. There's nothing left anywhere. 8 years ago, when you took the place of Tonoshiki, Father got rid of everything. That's why you were taken to the Arimas, to the outside world. Tono's eldest son had to be alive. But since there's no Tohno blood in you, you couldn't be the successor. Father explained that your body was weakened by the accident, so we sent you to the Arimas. I didn't agree. I even held a grudge against Father for letting you go for a stupid reason like that. I guess it's because I told him that I wanted you back so many times. But Father finally came out and told me you were adopted. And he told me never to let you come close to our house. Father didn't take into account what kind of cruel things he was doing to you. And he lied to me shamelessly until the day he died. Akia's story ended there. It might be because she hid these facts from me for so long, but Akia's story sounded more like a confession. That's the whole story. So now you know. You know you're not really my brother. You're not part of this rotten family. About to cry. Akia's voice sounds like she's about to cry. I'm sorry, Akia. I wasn't your real brother, but I still acted like it. And I caused trouble for you. What? Nissan? But I'm already a part of this family. I might not be your brother, but can I still stay here? I don't want to leave you ever again. Akia puts her hand over her mouth and bites back whatever words are about to come out. After a long silence, Akia sadly shakes her head. I see. I'm sorry, that's, Tohno. I see. You're right. It was wrong for me to ask that. I've been a terrible brother anyway. No! That's not true! I can't believe it. Akia's crying. Nissan, you're my only Nissan. I've watched you since I was just a little girl. It's nice for you to say that. But that's because you didn't know. You didn't know I wasn't your brother. I knew it from the beginning. I knew that you were adopted. That you weren't really my brother. I knew all that. But I didn't care. From the time you called me by my name. Thump. Still crying. Akia falls against me. Akia! I put my hand on her slender shoulders. Is that her heartbeat echoing in my ears? Or mine? She's so close. Akia's body so close to me. I could put my arms around her if I wanted to. You knew. Since she was a child. All this time, she knew that I wasn't her real brother. Why didn't you tell me, Akia? I'm not your brother after all. A small silence. Akia looks up. Because I wanted to be with you. If I didn't tell you, if we stayed brother and sister, we could stay together. Since I'm not human, since I'm too different from you, we can't stay together. Akia clenches her eyes shut and hits me in the chest. But if we were brother and sister, I thought we could still be together. No matter how much you hated me, no matter how much you ignored me, it would be okay if we could just stay together. Smack. The sound of her hitting my chest again. Isn't it weird? I was born into such a powerful family, but I wasn't allowed to ask for anything. Since I'm different, since I'm not like everyone else, I was going to be trapped inside this mansion and live without knowing anyone from outside. That's what I was ready for. But you destroyed it all. As if trying to drive out everything she kept inside all these years, Akia hits my chest again and again. If Nissan didn't show up, I could have lived like that my whole life. But I became weak and became a liar. I lied to you, and I lied to myself. I thought if I kept lying about us, about being brother and sister, then I wouldn't want anything else. Hearing this stabs my heart with pain. Such a small lie. But to protect that little lie, Aki has fought against so much, until finally it became too much, leaving her crying like she is now. Akia, you were my only Nissan for all this time. I could never accept anybody else as my Nissan, let alone love anyone else. I can't do anything about this feeling. Smack. Akia hits my chest once more and grows quiet. A long silence. Sorry, murmurs Akia, momentarily breaking the silence. My heart stutters at that single word. Akia was alone, with all her pain all this time. She was in pain because she knew everything, that I was adopted, that I was raised as Tohnoshiki, everything. She's now once again that young, black-haired girl who was always crying and apologizing to me when I was a kid. Come to think of it, Akia was always apologizing to me. A small, nearly infinitesimal happiness for Akia. Yet she still made up an elaborate story to protect it. That story itself was the barrier pushing her back, but it was also her one source of happiness. Akia, No, I'm sorry. I've been selfish, but this is the last time, so you don't have to worry. Akia pushes away from me. She's not crying anymore. The normal Akia is here now. What do you mean this is the last... Akia? Look, Nissan. My hair won't turn back anymore. Akia looks at me, not sad, but rather letting me take in the truth of this statement. Her hair remains that dull, bloody red. So, the Tohno blood is in control of her, just like it was with Shiki. What? Well, that's just for now, right? Besides, you're still Akia, so it's not a problem. No, I know my own body. I know I can't go back. So this is the end of my lie. Nissan, you shouldn't be close to a monster like me. You should escape this place and live on as Nanaya Shiki. Akia bows her head and steps back. I don't know anything about this Nanaya Shiki. I have no attachment to that name now. No, even if I did, such a thing would be unimportant compared to Akia. You idiot! I grab Akia's arms. Hey, Nissan! She pushes back, always acting so strong, but always so lonely. She caught me. Come to think of it, she caught me a long time ago. Listen, Akia. I don't care what anyone says. I am your brother. No matter what happens, it doesn't matter if we're not related by blood. I'm your brother. Thank you, Nissan. But even if I wasn't, I'd stay beside you. Even if you're not my sister, you're still important to me. I won't let anyone else hurt you. I pull her into my arms. I love you as my sister. I hold her tightly. But I love you as a woman even more. Isn't that reason enough to stay with you? Her breath catches her throat. Everything stops. I can hear her heartbeat. Our bodies warm up, all the way down to our fingertips. And then, as if there was never any doubt, we kiss. Oh. She refuses a bit at first. But soon as I feel the full weight pressing against me, It's just a normal kiss, far from what anyone would call passionate. And yet, it still blows my mind. Akiha's lips are cool and soft. It feels like we might melt into each other. My mind stops working as I feel her warm breath against my lips. I can come up with many reasons why I shouldn't, but I want Akiha right now. I want to take her trembling body in my arms and make her all mine. After a long time, our lips part. Akiha still rests her body against mine. I'm so happy. Her voice is soft. I almost miss it. It was just a kiss, but she really does look happy. Akiha. I put my hands on her shoulders. It's not that I came up with anything. As if it's the most natural thing in the world, I gently kiss Akiha's neck. Her body shakes, but not with disgust or rejection. Does Akiha feel the same as I do? Maybe. If I'm thinking it's natural to want to touch Akiha, she might be thinking the same about me. Akiha, do you want to do it? I ask her. I know I should have said it better, but I can't think of anything fancy right now. Yes. Akiha nods. Okay, so. We're just gonna save, and then we're gonna go full screen for just a little while. Sorry, but that's the way it is. A, that's how Twitch works, and B, I'm not a sex worker, so I ain't reading all that. Okay. Nah, I should probably cover the whole thing, huh? Don't want no side of the screen titty or what have you. Just this simple gesture makes me more excited than I've ever been. But Nissan, could you do me a favor first? A favor? I just thought this might be... She looks down at the tatami. I see. It'd probably hurt on the tatami. But what should we do? I don't think I can hold back if she wants to go all the way back to the mansion. Okay, so... They made a separate sprite. How about that? Okay, so we're just gonna skip. I'm kind of skimming it a little bit. Look at this, so bad. Oh my god. Okay. um... Okay, I think we're safe now. I think it's over. um all right. For those of you who are curious, Shiki and Akiha decided now would be a really good time to fuck, I keep thinking of trying to think of some other board game. They were playing 13 Dead End Drive. There was under the tatami there was a bunch of board games. They decided to play a bunch of board games, and they had a lot of fun. And Akiha got all tuckered out and went to go take a shower. And then I think Shiki's dreaming right now. And heard the phrase, "Don't forget our promise." There are things worse than death. So please, keep our promise. I can hear a voice, even though I'm asleep. I'm sorry. I have to say this, but sometimes, death is the only salvation. This must be a dream. I don't want to trust anyone else. So please, don't forget, no matter what happens. What a bad dream. I'll never be able to forget it. If I could, I wish I could forget it. Nissan. Wake up, Nissan. I hear Akiha's voice. Nissan. Nissan, you have to wake up. You can't be sleeping when the sun's about to set. Weird. I can hear Akiha's voice. That's enough. How can you sleep like that when I want you to wake up? Someone squeezes me. Instantly I awake. Ouch! I wake to a sharp pain in my arm. Then... Oh, good morning, Akiha. Akiha looks mad, and I can tell she has something to say. From the shape of the red mark on my arm, the pain I felt was her pinching me. Akiha, that really hurts! What did you do? Nothing. You wouldn't wake up, so I gave you a little pinch. You didn't have to do that. I would have woken up if you just said to. Akiha is staring at me in disbelief. Really, Hisui was right. You don't remember anything when someone tries to wake you up. What? Did you try to wake me up just now, Akiha? Yeah, I called your name a bunch of times and... You don't even remember, do you? Yeah, sorry, but I don't remember. I understand. Next time, I'll get right to hitting you. If you don't want that to happen, try to wake up on time. I guess I left her alone too long while I was sleeping. Seeing how mad she is, I guess she'd been up for more than an hour. Jeez, I can't help it. I was tired from everything that happened yesterday, all that board game playing. I was attacked by you at school. And when I came home, I had to fight Shiki. And then I had to look after you. And then, you know, that. I should be sleeping all day after that. That? Nissan? Seeming to recall what we did, Akiha blushes. She's so cute. Seeing that seeing that blush makes me want to tease her even more. What? You were holding me so tight. Don't tell me you didn't like it. Well... She mumbles while looking down at the floor. It's all right. If you don't like it, I won't force you to do it. I guess we could just have a pure relationship from now on. Monopoly only. Nissan, well... What? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Crap. I can't hold a straight face. Just looking at her makes me want to burst out laughing. It's not that I dislike it, but... Oh, I see. So you don't really like it then. Okay. I'll restrain myself from now on. Oh, but I guess I do like it, but... Akiha looks away as she answers. I see. But you keep saying but. I can't help it. I couldn't think back then. I couldn't really tell if it was good or bad. Alright. Well, let's do it again to find out just to be sure. I want to... Jesus Christ. I thought we were safe! Oh! Akiha stares at me with her cheeks blazing. After she stares at me for a second, she purses her lips and shakes her head. Nissan, please put your clothes on. It's almost sunset, and we have to go back to the mansion. It doesn't matter. This is part of the mansion. I want to stay here with you all day. Or don't you like that idea? No, I feel the same way. But I was thinking that it hurts here. And I want to go, play Monopoly on a real bed. Even though her voice is a bit angry, she's saying that what she's saying is so cute. It makes me want to play with Monopoly with her even more. Alright, fine. To be honest, I was thinking when I was watching you recover that I wanted to sleep in that bed with you. Akiha nods. Alright, let's hurry up. Let me get my clothes on. I'm gonna go back to the mansion. We leave the detached building and make our way to the garden. Like Akiha said, the sun is setting and the garden is filled with red. Hey Akiha, what do you think Kohaku-san is doing? Well, Kohaku might have figured it out. She's usually a little oblivious, but sometimes she's really cunning. It doesn't feel like I did anything wrong, but still. Talking about this feels awkward. Knowing Kohaku-san, she might actually be happy and congratulate us, but I have no idea how Hisui will react. Just slightly. I feel a headache. I stop. Akiha keeps walking. Aki, hold on a sec. I call out to her. She turns around. That face. Before I can stop myself, I fall to the ground. Nissan! Akiha runs toward me, but she never makes it, because she's stopped by him. Shiki! You... How dare you do that to Nissan? Akiha lashes out, but she can't break his hold. That guy, Shiki, grabs Akiha's neck and starts to squeeze. After several frantic seconds, Akiha's head nods forward. Shiki holds her unconscious body and looks down at me contemptuously. You did it! You really took everything from me! If curses were real, they probably would sound just like that. Shiki looks down at me, his teeth gritting. I can't move. My energy seems to be escaping through my back. There's only a little pain. Pain, and the certainty that I might die here. I can feel my shirt slowly being soaked with my own blood. In my back, a knife is planted like some type of alien wing. Shiki! Don't misunderstand, Shiki! Akiha doesn't really love you. She loves her brother. Yeah, for that, I may have to thank you. Isn't that right, Akiha? Please forgive me for being such a weakling. I never realized how much you loved me. If I was smarter, you wouldn't have had your purity taken away by such a pathetic loser. Shiki puts her face near Akiha. Since she's unconscious, she can't resist. Yes, it doesn't matter if we're brother and sister. I love you more than anything. Shiki walks toward me, still holding onto Akiha. This time I'll make sure to kill you, so you won't come back, Shiki. Akiha has this strain on her body because she's keeping you alive. Strain on her body? Oh, you didn't know? Akiha kept you alive by giving you half of her life force. Haven't you ever wondered about it? No human can survive with a hole that big in their chest. 8 years ago that day, Akiha regenerated you by giving you half of her life. She's supplementing the life I took away from you with half of her own. There's no way you could have survived if it wasn't for that. Sharing her life. That's why Akiha can't manage her own body. She suffered all this time for you. As long as you live, she'll keep on suffering. I will alleviate that suffering now. Shiki walks toward me. My body will not move. I can feel myself starting to black out. Half of her life. I hear the sound of a sword sticking into the ground. Shiki screams. The reason for Akiha's spasms in the old man's diary. Tohno-kun, I'll treat you right away. Hold on. This body that should have died. Someone lifts me up and takes me somewhere. But I can't care about what's happening now. What an ugly truth to have to face. It turns out that I was the reason Akiha has been suffering all this time. Chapter 12. A Finale. I had a dream. No, it was a dream which wasn't mine. That day, the girl that clung to me crying, who shared with me her life, it was her dream that I had. We live alone, and we die alone, Akiha. Those were the first words Father taught me. I did not know what the words meant, but I remember feeling uneasy, looking at Father's inorganic eyes. Looking at Father's inorganic eyes as he said those words. He was a very lonely person, and I knew that I would be like him one day. Born into the Tohno family, I had an older brother, but I could not get along with him. My parents told me he was my brother, but he seemed to me like someone else. Having the Tohno blood means having the blood of non-humans. That might be why he looked different to me, but for me, he did not appear like that either. I could not truly accept my brother. And when I turned 6, the strange boy joined our life as another brother. At first, I did not like the boy's name, as it sounded exactly like my brother's. The boy was a few years younger than my brother, but he was mature and kind to everybody. Even though I was restricted by my family's creed, the boy took me around to play like it was completely normal. As I followed him silently, I started to take interest in my new brother. He was loud, unsettling, and a bit rough, but somehow, I knew this person would protect me no matter what. As a daughter of the Tohno family, I lived separately from my brother and the boy. Father says I'm not able to live a normal life due to the special blood of the Tohno family. I managed to endure strict studies by accepting my fate. Father's not doing this because he does not like me. I tell myself that he scolds me really, really harshly only because he loves me. My mind is getting worn out. The mind I had was cut down as it started to become smaller and smaller. But I felt I could endure it. Because I have a bit of free time I could use to play outside with everyone after my studies. The three of us started to play together. My brother and the boy got along really well. I usually followed them silently. My brother seems to know that the boy was different from us. I also know that time flies. Time flies by when I play around with normal people like them. Since I knew, I wanted to value this time, wishing that when I mature and become alone in this prison-like mansion, I would not be lonely and refrain from crying because I have these happy memories. The memories were numerous. There were really special times within the special days I had. There was the night I went far away with the boy. On a dark night, the two of us in the field, surrounded by the trees. It was a really dreamlike experience for me. Every day was a warm like paradise, but it all ended abruptly. A hot summer day. I saw my brother in the courtyard and walked towards him. He was panting painfully as he was crouching on the ground. I had a really bad feeling about it. I could hear the cicadas, and the ground seemed to tilt. Feeling myself starting to get dizzy, I called out to my brother. The brother that turned around was not my brother. I could not do anything. All I could do was watch my brother turn into an ugly beast. I thought that I would turn into something like him in the future. The thought that I would turn into something like him in the future caused me to freeze in place. The bloodthirsty beast attacked me. I could not run away. In that moment, someone pulled on my hand. The boy was there when I turned around. He pulled my hand and ran. Is he not scared? The boy in front of that ugly beast. The boy stood in front of that ugly beast as if to protect me. But the beast was only watching me. The beast that attacked me, and the boy that came in between us. Splash. I remember the moment warm blood splashed onto my cheeks. The boy embraced me and protected his sister from the beast. Even though his body had a hole and was bleeding seriously, he still embraced me. He protected my small body and did not let go. When I looked up, he was crying. The tears looked like they were from regret and not pain. "I'm sorry," said the boy. Before he died, he embraced me, hoping his dead body would still protect me. The boy continues to apologize. If I was part of your real family, I could probably protect you. It's so frustrating. I couldn't be your real brother. I swore you would be more important to me than anyone else. He died whispering that confession. The boy wished for my safety, even after he died, and tried to be a brother more than my real brother. Those words were enough. I cannot wish for anything more. I understood. I cried, knowing that this person will never betray me. Even though it was imprudent, I embraced him back and cried from happiness. I wish that I could think this was the only person for me. I was happy that I could think this was the only person for me no matter what happened. I do not know what happened after that. When I came to, the only memory I had was the body of the beast getting dragged somewhere, and the body of the small boy being carried into the mansion. And my father told me. He said the adopted son died in that accident, and that my real brother was the one who survived. I knew that was for appearances for the outside world, but I did not care. He was alive. I cannot possibly wish for more. Even if the boy becomes my true brother in name, and even if the boy himself thinks that way, I told myself that it would be fine as long as I could stay beside him as his sister. 8 years have passed, and our father died. I ascended to full power over the Tohno house, and I decided to bring him back to the mansion, ignoring the surrounding opposition. There's no freedom for me as the successor, but I might be able to act selfishly at least once. Then, I would like to use that one wish for my love that will never be mentioned. That was good enough for me. I've taken away everything from him, so I cannot wish for more. Back then, the kind of happiness I had while watching the stars together would never happen again, but as long as he's here, I do not care. If Nissan would come back on a dark night, the two of us in the field surrounded by trees. What a happy and selfish dream. Pain. I awake to the pain in my chest. An unfamiliar room. I was lying on a bed, with my upper body bare. Instead of my clothes, white bandages were wrapped all around my chest. My memory is messed up. What's happening? What's going on right now? Everything jumbles together, and I can't sort things out. The only certain thing is this pain in my chest. The wound on my chest. I was stabbed by someone from behind. By who? I don't even have time to think about it. I was just stabbed by Shiki. And Akiha! Akiha! I get up from the bed. My body suddenly stops. The wound on my chest hurts, and my entire body tenses. Even breathing is painful. I can't stand up like this. Oh, you woke up, Tohno-kun. I'm surprised. It's not a wound you would wake up so early from. What? Senpai? Yes, it's me. Also, this is my room, so you can relax. Even if that vampire's after you, he won't likely come here. It's you. Senpai. Weren't you never going to appear in front of me? That was the plan, but I had to help you in a situation like that. Saying that, Senpai walks toward the bed. See, the wound opened up because you tried to move. I'll change the bandages for you. Senpai skillfully takes off the bandages on my body and replaces them with new ones. They're rather tight. Senpai, I feel bad mentioning this because you helped me, but it's too tight. Yes, I'm making it tight so you can move around and still be alright. Could you be quiet for a little while? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize and look around the room. It seems to be Seal Senpai's room. I guess I was stabbed by Shiki and then rescued by Seal Senpai afterwards. But then, what happened to Akiha? Senpai! Akiha! Where's Akiha? Senpai's hands freeze. Senpai! The circumstances dedicated that I could only rescue one person. I could not escape from that vampire carrying two people. So, I gave priority to your rescue, since you had a greater chance of recovery. Akiha? You're saying that you deserted Akiha-senpai? Yes. Her life cannot be saved anyway. I cannot endanger your life to save hers, if that's the case. What? What is this person saying? Why? Why did you save me? Aren't you supposed to kill vampires? And you should have forgotten about me and killed Shiki right there. I had that choice, but you would have probably died. Your wound was deep enough that you would have died unless I treated you quickly. I wasn't sure if I could kill that vampire quickly, so I made the most certain decision and ran away with you. So you deserted Akiha? That's unwanted help right there. I bet Akiha would have been saved if you left me and killed Shiki. I won't deny that, but Tohno-kun, Akiha-san's not dead. That vampire's purpose is to make her more like him. Akiha-san will not be killed. You were the only person that was going to be killed. Don't you understand that, Tohno-kun? I cannot say anything. Senpai's right. What am I doing? Throwing my powerlessness at her. I'm sorry, but I can't believe that guy wouldn't kill Akiha. He's a killer. I know that more than anyone else. Tohno-kun, Akiha-san will not be killed, but please give up on her. She won't be able to turn back. I know that. But that's just her hair. Akiha's not like Shiki. No, Tohno-kun. That vampire's purpose is to obtain Akiha-san. Tohno-shiki, Akiha-san's real brother, is not human anymore. So what he wants is someone like him. Do you understand, Tohno-kun? That vampire does not want Akiha-san as human. That's why he attacked Akiha-san at night, but didn't kill her. I don't know how, but Tohno-shiki must have found a way to awaken the non-human blood in the Tohnos. Now that she mentions it, I remember. Ever since that guy knocked Akiha unconscious, her hair has been red without turning back. Senpai, how do you know so much? I made you talk when you were asleep. I'll apologize for making you talk without asking, but consider it compensation for getting rescued. Ugh. I don't care about that. There's no point in her apologizing. Instead, I have to go to Akiha. I get up from the bed. Pain. Pain like I was being gouged with a knife all over my body. But I can still move. If I can move, I can't sit still. Senpai, you have my knife, right? Can you give it back to me? Are you going back to the mansion, Tohno-kun? I don't have to answer. Senpai holds the knife in her hands and stands in front of me. Let me just triple check to make sure everything's all on the up and up. I think it is, right? Okay. Alright, good. That vampire and Akiha-san are still at the mansion. But it's been over 6 hours since then. It's probably too late by now. I said, it doesn't matter, Senpai. I don't care what Akiha's like. I decided I'm going to be with her. A long time ago. I swore that I would be her real brother, like real family. I say that and feel like crying. It happened a long time ago. A promise I myself forgot. The family, which did not act like a family, but still. I worked hard to become a family member. Only her. She cared for me more than the rest of her real family. I knew it was a lie right from the beginning. We tried to protect that lie. Really, I wish I never knew. What a fragile and faraway dream it was. Tohno-kun, it might be true that you'll be able to accept Akiha-san no matter what she turns into. But that's just your selfish interpretation. Akiha-san herself will not allow her own existence. Akiha herself will not allow her own existence? Someone has said something like that before. Listen to me, Tohno-kun. Akiha-san will lose her mind when she becomes one of the Tohno. Her reason that lost to her
her reason that lost to her instinct will go away, and she'll repeat senseless murders like Tonoshiki. Murders that she doesn't want. And Akiha-san herself cannot tell she's doing it. There is no Akiha-san in her anymore. All that remains is the action called murder. Do you understand, Tono-kun? It's not the people who were killed by her that hate her most. It's herself that hates her the most. But she does not have any emotion to feel that. Unless she dies. To calm down her awakened blood, you must reset everything. But to reset everything means to kill her. If she has changed, the old Akiha-san isn't there anymore. By dying, Akiha-san can return to her original self.
Now I remember. It was Akiha herself that said that. Please kill me. She said that while crying. I cannot say anything. I thought my blood would boil. I know it's painful. I'm sorry.
I know it's painful, but please give up. How selfish.
I grab Senpai's collar and push her into the wall. This anger's not directed at her. But she shouldn't talk about Akiha that lightly. Are you telling me to kill Akiha?
Yes. If Akiha-san wishes so, I'll let you take that role.
Don't joke around! I can't kill her. Senpai told me not to kill no matter what.
Tono-kun.
Her emotionless face starts to collapse. I know. I know that Senpai isn't saying this because she wants to.
Tono-kun, there are some things more painful than death, and Akiha-san knows that. And if she's already changed, she's no longer human. You cannot call something that cannot You cannot call something that cannot think for itself human, although you might be able to call it alive.
Saying that, Senpai hands the knife to me.
Tono-kun, vampire hunting is my job. I'll take care of that vampire. So...
No. I'm sorry. But you stay here, Senpai. What?
Tono-kun?
Him and I go way back. It's our problem. Honestly. I don't want you involved in this. But if something does happen to me, I'll let you handle it. I know it sounds a bit selfish, but would that be alright, Seal-senpai? Senpai narrows her eyes. Transient eyes like she's watching an illusion.
Alright. It does sound a bit selfish, but I'll let you handle it. But I don't understand. Why are you willing to do such a thing? You're not even a member of the Tohno family. Why?
Why? I know why. You said it already. I, Tonoshiki, value Akiha more than myself. But I couldn't love her as much as she wanted, so I have to go. All this time, Akiha has suffered by herself. Compared to that, this pain is nothing. I'm going now. Thanks for everything. And goodbye, Senpai. I endure the pain as I start to walk. Yes. I'm sorry.
Yes. Goodbye, Tono-kun.
As I walk away, I hear Senpai say that to me. I reach the mansion. I have a headache. My vision is blurry, like everything was shrouded in mist. My vision is distorted. I can't breathe properly. Just breathing makes me dizzy. Each step I take feels like a few 100 meters. My body, it's so exhausted I'm practically numb. I drag my legs. My body has reached its limit and doesn't move like I want it to. My mind thinks negatively, telling me I can't do anything with such a body. But my burning blood denies all those ideas. My loud heartbeat. Only my pulse is high. Under the moon, My concentration is sharpened. I just came here naturally. There's no mistake. My heart beats loudly. My throat burns. My body's exhausted and uses all its energy to stay alive. It's suicidal to fight like this, but I feel no fear. My fingers are paralyzed by the weight of my knife. My nerves feel frayed. What a familiar sensation. I remember this feeling. I felt it so many times already. The feeling he had when he killed in the dream, and a long time ago. I think I had this feeling too. I won't last long. I head into the detached building. Strangely enough, I did not feel anything when I saw it. Shiki! It's you! Shiki gets up slowly. There's only 2 people there. One is a vampire called Shiki. Another, a red-haired girl. Welcome, Shiki. I thought you wouldn't make it. My mind does not feel anything. Akiha is there behind Shiki. Her eyes look dead as she rests on the wall. Maybe Shiki put it on. But she's wearing a kimono. That thing. Akiha's like a mindless doll. I let out a big breath. I do not feel anything. It's like I've turned into a doll like Akiha, feeling nothing. But you're too late. I've got Akiha back. Shiki walks toward me. Shiki, what do you want to do? I ask him as I raise my knife. Shiki tries to hold his laughter as he talks. Beats me? I don't even know. My purpose as Shiki is to get Akiha. I have no intention of sucking any of the lowlife's blood. I see. But for that, you were pretty random back then. Yes, you're so right. But it can't be helped. That wasn't my intent. It tells me, Shiki, to kill, deprive, and destroy all. I'm just following that. I don't know why. That's awful. I don't remember much, but you weren't like that before, Shiki. Yeah, I went crazy from that day 8 years ago. There's a weird guy in my head, and he tells me to kill everything. Saying that, Shiki laughs. He keeps laughing, like wheels turning indefinitely. There. I can't find one bit of humanity. This is my last question. Aren't you feeling any pain? Pain? No way. I'm perfect. I love myself for doing this. Well, I could say I was bored, but I've already solved that. Until now, my only fun was to eat those lowlives. But that's over since Akiha's back. Now, I have no time to play with those toys. Shiki sounds satisfied. It was useless to ask. But I still wanted to ask. If this guy had the pain Yumizuka had, the pain as a human, having to suck blood despite not wanting to, then you're not a human anymore. My words are menacing. Shiki stops moving. I don't get it. I don't get why you came here to get killed. I don't get that question you asked. Shiki, what did you come here for? To kill you, and to retrieve Akiha. Those words leave my mouth. All the blood in my body accelerates. Huh! Are you sane, Shiki? You're saying a normal person like you can kill me? There's no reason for me to answer. I narrow my gaze and look at his lines. Don't be full of yourself! This is mine. I won't give it to you. Maybe he felt something. Shiki backs up as if scared. Akiha is my sister.
I'm the only one with the blood relation. There's no place for you. He looks at me with bloodshot eyes. There's nothing more to say to him. I raise my knife and take a step. You're right, Shiki. Akiha is not my sister. What? Akiha is my woman. You! I take another step. Losing himself in my words, Shiki attacks me straight on. That becomes the signal for our last death match. I can't take much time. My body's at its limit, and I want to get Akiha out of here as fast as I can. So, there's only one thing to do. I have to dodge Shiki's arm and cut across the line on his chest. My body will be able to move this once. I will be able to avoid it. He attacks. Shiki's range and my range are about the same. We try to kill each other, fairly in our range. No. That was just my illusion. Ha! Shiki lets out a funny scream as he swings it. I stop it with my knife. There's no time to think about other things. My knife and whatever Shiki's holding clang together with a high-pitched shriek. Damn! I thought I'd cut you in half along with your knife. But that thing is pretty strong for an antique, Shiki. Shiki swings it above his head. My whole body shakes. What Shiki is holding is a thing like a sword. That must be 10 times longer than my knife. 10 times longer? I don't understand. He was certainly bare-handed up until now. When did he get that? But there won't be a second time. The red sword swings down. Even if he swings it, it's only going to get stuck in the walls or the ceiling due to its length. I avoid it instantly. The red sword Shiki was holding came down without getting stuck anywhere. During that swing, the sword was indeed in the ceiling, but it came arcing down like a hot knife through warm butter. Somewhere, the sound of dripping blood. Persistent! Shiki holds up his sword once again. My mind stops, and my vision is Shiki and Akiha, sitting at the back of the room. Akiha blankly stares at me and Shiki. Akiha sits like a doll. Akiha. I can't leave Akiha here, but right now. I bite my tongue and get away. I go through the shoji door which leads out into the garden. If that sword does not hit the walls, then I'm at a disadvantage inside. Outside in the forest. In this dark night in these woods, there should be some advantage for me. I suddenly feel dizzy. My feet stumble as I almost fall. The wound in my back reopens, and blood pours forth. No time for that. I let out a breath. Stumbling, I lean against a tree. I can't pass out here. I hear the sounds of someone moving through grass. Shiki is definitely after me. Then, just a little more. I need to go to at least someplace where I can hide and attack him from behind. Then, something like a sword sticks into the tree that I'm leaning on. I jump sideways, twice. The sword that comes flying pierces through the tree easily. My body moved before I thought about it. I hide my body from tree to tree. The swords are following close behind. Is there no end to this? His swords are thrown one after another like bullets. What? There's no end. As I run away, he increases the amount of swords he throws at me. When I notice, the dark forest is full of pierced trees, looking like a sort of foreign execution site. Are you done running away now, Shiki? Don't tell me you think you can kill me here. I can hear his voice. But he does not throw his sword. As I can't see him, maybe he can't see me. No way. I straighten out and lean on a big tree.
His sword shouldn't pierce through a tree this big.
Hey man, where's all that talk you gave me earlier? If you're going to kill me, it's no fun unless you try.
The voice echoes, as I still cannot tell where he is. I close my eyes and try to make my hearing more sensitive. I can't hear his breathing or feel his presence. Of course. I don't have beast-like senses like he does. I hear a dripping noise. What is it? I don't think there's any water around here.
Jeez, you are a big chicken. All right. If that's all you're going to do, I'll make this interesting for you. You can hide there all you want.
I can hear his voice, but I still can't tell where he is.
Let's see. If that's the case, I'll have to make this a bit interesting. It's no fun just to kill you. It's easy to skewer you right now, but I bet Akiha won't be happy about that.
The dripping sound. It's closer this time. The sound is from the tree right in front of me. When I look, I see it's the sound of dripping liquid down the sword that pierced the tree.
Yes, I should crush your hands and feet to make you a toy for Akiha. Akiha likes to play with dolls, and it would suit her.
It doesn't seem to be sap. Some kind of liquid is dripping down that thin sword. When I look at it harder, it seems more like ice melting into water.
Oh yeah, I haven't told you this yet, but Akiha right now is a bit out of my hands. I guess I was too happy and I overdid it. It's good she's back, but it's a problem when she bites anyone she sees, right?
The liquid drips down. The red sword is more like a blade itself than a sword. A simple weapon just like a blade. This is the weapon Shiki was throwing. A red, thin, long blade. But why is it dripping red liquid? Red. Red. Red?
I see. I'll pass on making you Akiha's toy. I'm sure it'll be a great present if I give you to her with tons of swords sticking in you. But I think Akiha will bite on you before she gets to play with you. I can't let Akiha eat such a poor meal.
Shut up. Red. That person. Red. There's something important. Red. I have to realize it.
Wait a minute. Yes, that's a good idea. To let Akiha be a cannibal just like me.
Blood. I see. It's blood. That's blood. That's why there's so many swords around here. There are hundreds of swords stuck in trees. Disjointed hands and feet scattered around. Dark night. Glass moon. The bloody forest.
Yes. Yes! That's good. It'd be excellent if you were her first meal. I've made up my mind. Yes. Now I have to get Akiha to be like me as soon as possible.
The dripping sound. The sound of new blood dripping.
Bye, Shiki. I must say we're quite close, but I'm done playing around.
That lets me know where he is. I get away from the tree I'm leaning on. I turn around and cut its lines. Sliding, the large tree falls on the ground.
What?
I hear a voice from above. In a word, he was saying such tasteless things right above me until now.
You!
Shiki comes falling down. In his hand is the red sword made of blood. But before he could swing it, my knife cuts through his arm. Splattering blood, Shiki's arm falls to the ground. The blood pouring out of his sliced arm makes a black stain on the ground. It's the same for me, as I'm below him. Red blood, like human blood, splashes on my chest. Shiki falls to the ground and jumps back like a monkey.
Shiki looks at me. Oh, I guess you can do it if you try. I'm relieved, Shiki. It's unlike you to be killed so easily like that. I try to say something and I stop. I've no room for that. Kill. 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 If you have energy to move your mouth, use it to eliminate that creature. My body takes over my mind. Hey, why aren't you saying anything? Damn. Don't act like you're the good guy. You're more like a monster than I am. I grip my knife as I walk toward Shiki. You don't even want to talk to me, huh? I feel the same way too. I don't want to talk to you either. I may be a cannibal, but I'm not a machine like you. I walk through the grass. All right? I still have a mind that lets me choose. I know what I'm doing is considered evil for you guys, but we do it knowing that. But what are you? Controlled by your blood. I'm asking what you're trying to kill, without any will of your own. Nana Yashiki! I walk to kill him. Shit! Do you know how you look? Do you know how you look right now? You're not a living thing. You're like a machine. A doll that kills anything not human. I see. It was only right that the old man exterminated the Nanaya. Because you're all emotionless killers. The last step. With this, I'll be able to kill this monster. See, that's the kind of creature you are, Shiki. If you're fighting anyone not human, all you do is kill them, no matter how much they look human. Then, are you going to kill Akiha too, after you kill me? What in the world? I would never. Can you say that you won't? I'll tell you, but Akiha's more like a monster than I am. With her in front of you, there's no way you'll be able to hold down your impulse. See, if you have any reasoning left in you as Tonoshiki and not Nanaya Shiki, you should understand. You're going to be killed by me, or that it's best if you kill yourself. He disappears. No, he ran away. I can hear the sound of the grass as he runs. Is he running into the forest? Oh, I let him get away. I could have definitely killed him. But I let him get away. Why? Part of me is angry. Part of me thinks it was a good thing. I can't let him get away. There's a trail of blood on the grass. I cut off one of his arms. This trail of blood will tell me exactly where he went. But if I don't hurry up, I might lose him. If I take a breath to calm down, I might lose him forever. Let me think about this for a second. Let's really take some time and think, you know? Just gotta take some time and think. Okay. Let's just take a breath. Let's just take a beat. Let's calm down. I let out a deep breath. Let me just save real quick. Calming down, I managed to restore control over my breathing. My view painted in red now returns to normal. One more calming breath. I won't believe what Shiki says. I would never kill Akiha, and there's no way I would kill someone simply because they weren't human.
It's different. It's different from back then. I'm different from Shiki. I can control my actions through my own willpower. It's just... the smell of blood is so strong. It makes me remember the past and it scares me. Shit! My right hand is still holding the knife. With my bare left hand, I wipe the blood off my chest. With that, the smell of blood goes away a bit. Shiki! In the darkness, the trail of blood seems to light the way. I take another deep breath, then go after Shiki. This is the last stop. Is this just a coincidence, or is it on purpose? 8 years ago, we fight to the death once more, at the place where Shiki almost killed me. You did come after me. Shiki is sitting down at the very edge of the clearing. Even that is the same as back then. I hold on to my knife and walk toward him. I feel something slimy under my feet. Shiki's blood has not stopped. All the flowing blood is from him. Splash, splash. His blood makes noise as I step toward him. It's amazing he's alive after losing this much blood. It's like a giant puddle on the ground. But I'm also at my limit. I'll be at a disadvantage if I wait any longer. This is the only chance to kill him, with him wounded. I step forward. Wait! There's something I haven't told you yet! Can you wait there a bit, Shiki? Don't look at me like that. This should benefit you too, because it's about Akiha. There might be a way to turn her back. What? At that moment, my still functioning reason stops my feet. But my body is telling me to go on and kill him right now. We'll stop. I stop walking. I stare at the crouching Shiki as I stand on the slimy ground. Shiki is laughing loudly. I know. If I stop now, he'll recover from his wounds. I know I've thrown away my last chance. But still, if there's a way to get Akiha back, I have to hear it. Who's talking? Really? What? I can't hear you. Is it for real, Shiki? Yeah. I talk a lot, but it's against my policy to ever lie. So I'll tell you, if you stay there a bit longer, and depending on your attitude, I could go ahead and save Akiha myself. Save Akiha? Is it that I felt something bad in those words? My body shakes and I almost fall. The ground is slippery because it's slimy. Slippery. Wait. I'm now... Well, you should know how to save her. She has no power to live as a human, so she has to live as a Tohno. And since she's using the power of the Tohno blood, she became one of the Tohno blood, rather than someone of human blood. His weapon made out of red blood. So if you reset things back to the state where she can live as a human, she doesn't have to rely on the Tohno blood. See? Isn't it easy? If you want to save Akiha, all you have to do is eliminate the cause for her current state. I'm standing in a puddle of blood. So all I'm saying is, everything will be fine if you just die! At the same time, I jumped to the side with all my power. It really was a matter of a split second. The blood that was flowing from Shiki's body, all of it turns into a mountain of needles. How could I be so careless? If that red sword was made of his blood, then it would be easy for him to make his flowing blood into swords as well. Grunting with exertion, I jump from the puddle of blood and roll onto the ground. But I couldn't get away unscathed. My left arm is useless now. My left arm wasn't stabbed, but cut from the inside out. In other words, the blood I wiped off with his arm cut through me like an exploding firework. I roll on the ground and fight the pain. I still got lucky. If I hadn't wiped out the blood with my chest, I would have grown swords out of my back and died instantly. Shit! I hear a voice. The sound of Shiki running toward me, through the grass that accompanies it. You don't know when to stay down! You should have died with that! He's coming. I cannot fight back since I'm on the ground. He's coming. He sticks out his arm with sharp nails and approaches, trying to dig my heart out. It's like a circus, dark forest. I get excited thinking about when the curtain will rise. The faraway voices of the cicadas, blue sky, and high, high summer clouds. And then, I'll be killed again in this forest? That pisses me off. Again, and again, being killed in the same way. Wake up, Tohnoshiki. Enough of that. Aren't you tired of seeing it over and over? What? The voice comes from Shiki. Shiki's arm is not in my chest but on the ground. It's nothing, really. My body has learned to react after having been killed so many times in the same way. Tohnoshiki simply avoided the enemy's arm, and then cut across the line on the enemy's torso. Are you kidding me? With a sound, Shiki's body slides to one side. Shiki desperately supports it as he gets away. What? Why? Hey, Shiki, this is wrong. His cut. Why won't it stick back? With a cramped smile on his face, Shiki staggers back. His upper body and lower body slowly separate. Shiki looks like a circus clown trying to desperately hold on to his body. Ouch! It hurts! I don't like it! I'm going to pass out! I can't stop bleeding! My body's separating! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! It hurts! It hurt! Saying that, Shiki falls to the ground. His legs are still standing. Only his upper body falls to the ground, like some kind of joke. He's still alive. He's still alive after becoming like a weird spider, with only his upper body left. I push my body and manage to stand up. He's still alive. Then, I have to kill him. I kneel down in front of that thing that's dragging itself with its right hand. I raise my knife. Now, all I have to do is drop it. If I drop my knife in the center of his body, the point next to his heart, everything will end. Will it end? Everything. A stupid story that has continued for 8 years will end with just that. Shiki's voice resists death. It's not like I feel sorry for him. It's not that I got scared of killing him. It's not that my anger has gone away, but why? Why? Why can't I do something so easy as bringing down this knife? Laughing, the thing disappears into the bushes. I look with a blank stare at my bloody knife. I didn't kill him. Or was it that I could not kill him? I hear the annoying laughter. It seems like he's going to the detached building where Aki has left. I get up. How stupid of me. I should have known that he would gone to Akiya. I start to move my weak legs and head for the detached building. The trail of blood goes straight to the detached building. Around the red trail are remnants of organ-like pieces. With an injury like that, Shiki would have died anyway, without me finishing him off back there. But he's using his last energy to get to Akiya. I support my weak body and run. I reach the detached building. After following the red trail of blood, the blood goes directly into the building.
I made it in time. Nothing is different inside the room. Akiha sits by the wall with a blank stare. On the tatami floor is a trail of blood, and there, crawling, a man with only his upper body, dragging himself desperately on the ground. Dragging on, leaving a trail like a slug, Shiki crawls toward Akiha by the wall. Help me, Akiha! Shiki reaches his hands, asking for help. His bloody fingers reach out to Akiha. I won't let him. I have to go over there and finish him off. What? The exclamation of surprise come from both me and Shiki. Innocent laughter. Shiki screams as his heart is ripped out. Childlike laughter. Shiki's scream. Blood sputters all over. Waves of red blood color the tatami floor and the walls. Laughter of unbearable happiness. Stop! Stop it! Akiha! Shiki's scream ends there. Because his throat, the organ allowing him to talk, is crushed and was torn away, along with from his head to his body. Akiha. Akiha does not react to my voice. She probably doesn't even know her name. Akiha waves her red hair around and laughs like a little girl. Akiha. There's no answer. That's all I can say to her. She's lost her mind. Giggling. The sound of Akiha's laughter echoes in the room. She was fiddling with the body of Shiki, but seems to have gotten bored of her toy, which didn't move anymore. After looking around the room, she rips through the shoji and runs outside. Her hands are still drenched in blood. What? I can't tell her to wait. I know. I know that everything's too late. The childlike Akiha. She's now an innocent creature, not knowing good nor evil. Just a living creature that can only kill. Please, kill me. So, to go after Akiha right now means I'm going to kill her. I feel like choice number 2 is more in character. But technically choice number 1 is ultimately the right thing to do, I think. Because if she's just going to be wandering around with supernatural abilities and the ability to, and it's like the instinct to kill everything, she's a danger to everyone around her, right? So I cannot come up with an answer. But I do know that I can't leave Akiha alone. I kill the flood of emotions. Without thinking, I go after Akiha. To my surprise, Akiha has not gone beyond the mansion. Under the moonlight, under the autumn-leaved tree we once walked under, Akiha just stands there. She's standing quietly, not doing anything. Like a child, she innocently stares at the falling autumn leaves. What could I do about it? No reason. No intelligence. A girl that's just there. There's no crime. Akiha's not the one to blame. Please kill me. I recall those words. Please kill me with your hands. What a cruel wish. She could only ask for that. She couldn't even ask for help. If you asked, I would have been on your side until the very last moment. Even if the whole world was against me. Please keep our promise. What severe treatment. I did leave her for 8 years, but I never thought I'd be retaliated against in such a way. Akiha said,
Not knowing who you are and going around killing people out of instinct is more frightening than death. Senpai said, if you become something that just kills out of instinct, sometimes death is the only salvation. I grip my knife. Surprisingly, I feel no sadness. It's like my mind is emptied. I don't want to feel any emotions. Akiha. I step on the dead autumn leaves as I walk toward her. Akiha notices me and greets me with a smile. At least. I grip hard onto my knife. Akiha laughs. She laughs happily as she greets the person that will kill her. My mind weakens, but I've started walking. Death can be salvation. I walk. Akiha does not run away, but waits for me happily. Please kill me. The autumn leaves fall. That was your last wish. Akiha is laughing. There's no more distance to cross. Now, all I have to do is stick out this arm. No matter how painful it is for me, I have to kill you. Saying that, my eyes suddenly overflow with tears. What do we think? Shiki mentioned something along the lines of, Akiha sharing half of her life force with Tohno in order to revive him when he was killed 8 years ago. So it seems the choice is either kill her, or I assume kill ourselves so that Akiha can get the other half of her energy and maybe come back to normal. The problem with any choice that, like, means Shiki's alive is that, like, he's so fragile that, like, he could just... I don't know how long he'll, like, live naturally. I feel like it won't be long anyway. Like, regardless of what route we're on. So if it's possible to save Akiha, I feel like that's something that Shiki would do. And then I embrace Akiha's body from the front. There's no way I could kill her. I want you to live! Akiha tilts her head questioningly. No matter what you become, I still want you to live, Akiha. My tears cannot be stopped. Akiha hugs back joyfully and bites on my neck. It hurts. But it's not an act to suck my blood. It's just a primitive act to bite me. Akiha! Akiha just frantically bites my neck. She tears off the meat, and my bones are being chipped away. Akiha has no intelligence. She does not know who's holding her, or the meaning of an embrace. Akiha is no different from a beast in human form. But still, I want you to live! Is it wrong to wish for such a thing? Is it a crime to wish for her to stay alive, even though she goes around killing people? Even if Akiha says she cannot endure such a thing, I want her to endure past it. Even if... to think that the crime is borne by me is selfish thinking. I'll save you! Hard. With all my might, I embrace Akiha. I embrace the wildly moving Akiha. Crunch. She breaks my shoulder bone by biting through it. Akiha! even though one of my shoulder bones is broken. I embrace Akiha with one arm. Akiha rages wildly. I embrace her for a long time. Is it because this might be our last embrace? I've never held someone so dearly. Trying to remember everything. Their heartbeat. Their warmth. Maybe, since she found out I'm not going to do anything, Akiha stops fighting. I don't know how long we were like this, in the falling autumn leaves. But Akiha has fallen asleep in my arms. I rest Akiha's body on the ground, as gently as I can. Akiha's hair is still red. If Shiki's words are true, then there's no way for it to return to the black, except for that one method. I swore I would save her, no matter what happened. It's really easy to save her. The reason why Akiha is living as one of the Tohno blood. If the human she's sharing her life with disappears, she can go back to the original Tohno Akiha. But that means the death of Tohno Shiki. I don't know what leads to happiness, or what can save us. I don't know if death can be the way to save her. But right now, I can't tell what the right thing is to do. I don't think death can be a way to save anyone. It's an answer I've carried with me since my life was saved 8 years ago. No matter how painful or hard it is, I feel happy just being alive. So if I live up to my belief, I cannot kill myself. It's not like Akiha has died either. If she's alive, she might get well again one day, if I take care of her. I know that to give away your life that easily means you have an illusion of that death is honorable. But still, I want Akiha to be happy. Thank you for the follower. Thank you for the follow, legendary Otakujin. I appreciate that. Did you play Tsukihime Remake yet? No, we were just starting with this. It's probably going to be a long while before I ever touch Tsukihime Remake. Just because the current method to translating it is extremely rough. And I would want to wait for at least a fan translation that kind of cleans up a lot of the Google Translate errors and mucks and stuff that comes with just translating it via a bot. Anyway, I just want Akiha to be happier than I am. Besides, I was dead 8 years ago, and Akiha has given me this dream this whole time. So, this is just about giving back what used to be hers. There's nothing to be sad about, and there's nothing to lose. It's an end, where everything goes back to where it came from. The autumn leaves fall. Akiha lies on the red ground. Her hair on the ground is red. It flows through the red leaves, as if melting in them. Her face looks peaceful, as if she's having a happy dream. Jeez, don't catch a cold sleeping in a place like this. I mutter as normally as I can, and look down at my body. The lines are throughout my body. I look to see which one could kill me the easiest. I have to return what I've borrowed for so long. I've borrowed it for too long. But I can still give it back to you in time. Right, Akiha? If this body is being If this body is being kept alive by Akiha, then if I'm eliminated, the life should go back to its original owner. I place the knife on my body. My heart screams loudly. I'm still scared. Since I'm scared, I look at Akiha's sleeping face so that I can go away calmly. Damn. I just keep breaking promises with Akiha. The familiar feeling of death. The knife cuts through the line that will kill me the easiest. At that moment, as if the thing that controlled my body malfunctioned, my whole body stopped working. I fall onto Akiha. As I start to pass out, I watch the falling autumn leaves. They lay thick like snow. It might be because it's so beautiful. My mind goes blank, as if I'm going to sleep. Distant moon, white summer sun, and the sound of cicadas. Warm afternoon nap, an epilogue. Warm sunlight. I feel the bright sunlight coming in from the window, and I open my eyes slowly. I start to wake up. The sky outside the window is a clear blue, and it tells me that today is going to be a beautiful day. It might be because I slept in an unfamiliar bed, but my body feels a bit heavy. I stretch out a bit and get up. I hear a knock on the door. Excuse me. Hisui comes in with a bow. Hisui shuts the door, as if she had a lot of experience doing it. A quiet morning. Looking at her, acting like it was natural for her to come into this room, I feel for a while that this is my own room. Oh, fuck! Right, Kishiki's dead. Okay. Gotcha. Good morning, Akiha-sama. Did you sleep well last night? Yes, I did. I'm sorry for saying such selfish things as me wanting to sleep in Nissan's room. No, it is no problem. I think Shiki-sama is also happy for you to use this room. Hisui says this haltingly. I see. You don't give up easily, Hisui. Nissan should be happy that you think of him that much. Akiha-sama. It's true, right? I'm going to get changed and go to the sitting room. Can you go tell that to Kohaku? Yes. Excuse me, Akiha-sama. Hisui exits the room quietly. The room suddenly feels lonely. Nissan did not bring any of his belongings here. There's only a bed and a desk. Really? How could you sleep in such an empty room, Nissan? I'm surprised. I would have obtained for him anything he wanted. But Nissan did not ask for anything. I guess he was reserving himself a bit. But he was basically a person with no desires for things. He was like that from the time we were small. He said that with a smile. He said with a smile that he did not want anything. Fuck me. He said with a smile that he did not want anything. Anything. Jesus, fuck. Why do I have so much trouble with that word? He said that with a smile, that he did not want anything, and he was happy if we were with him. But that made me uneasy. He did not leave anything, and he was not restricted by anything. And he let me know as a child that to be free is to be lonely. I look out the window. The view Nissan was always watching. The forest is illuminated under the blue sky. After that, I slowly woke.
in the garden filled with dead leaves. I slowly moved my collapsed body. I was still alive. My hair was returned to black, and I did not feel the rage in my blood. I was feeling rather well, and that load I had always had in my body was lifted. I could almost say it disappeared. Yes, since I was a child, that load that was there, since I wished to save my brother, was gone, as if it never existed. That load was painful for me, but it was also a load that relieved me. I always had only half of my energy, and I always felt a load, but I was happy, because that load was Nissan, and I could feel Nissan as long as I felt the load. But that started to feel really light. I looked around the garden. I could not see Tohnoshiki anywhere in that night of falling leaves. Then I understood why I was able to live. My Tohno Akiha returned to the original Tohno Akiha. It really is nice outside, and I can't stay like this forever. I have to change and eat breakfast, so I can get to school on time. I come down to the dining room and finish my breakfast. It's only a little past 6. I should be able to relax a few more minutes. Akiha-sama? What is it, Hisui? You would like to relax too? Hisui looks at me with an angry expression. No, it's more like she's staring at me. It's a bit unusual for that calm Hisui. It does not seem like you would like to join me for some morning tea. Is there something you would like to say? Yes. Please forgive my rudeness, but why did you transfer schools again, Akiha-sama? I see. It's about that. The fact that I have transferred back to my original school must mean something to Hisui, since she does not believe Nissan has died. Why do you ask? I transferred to that school since Nissan was there. Now, since that reason is gone, it's only natural for me to go back. It does not look like Hisui is convinced. Or what is it? Are you saying I should have stayed at that school, even though Nissan isn't there? Yes. It's not like Shiki-sama has died. If such a thing is done, Shiki-sama will feel sad. Impossible. How can someone who's not here anymore feel sad, Hisui? I get up from the sofa. It's still a bit early, but I should leave. Hisui, can you tell Kohaku to get ready? Oh, and I'll probably live in the dormitory from now on, so I'll leave you two in charge of the mansion. I will make it official within this week, so I will give you the details when I come home. Akira-sama! Yes? What else do you have to say, Hisui? Akiha-sama, are you going to forget about Shiki-sama? No, but it's a waste of time thinking about someone who's not here anymore. I leave the room. I walk to the lobby, feeling Hisui's eyes on my back. Please take care on your way, Akiha-sama. Kohaku, excuse me. She doesn't say Kohaku-san. Kohaku walks me to the gate and bows. I'm going. I'll be back this afternoon, so we can walk then. Yes, but it's a bit regrettable, since I'll no longer be able to see you off anymore like this. Jeez, even you say that. It's just like this before... This is just like before Nissan came. I only came back on weekends back then. That's true. But now with Excuse me. But now that Makihisa-sama is dead, there's no reason for you to come back here, Akiha-sama. You'll only come back during long vacations, right? Yes, I would think so. I nod, and feel that I cannot hide anything from Kohaku. The only reason I came back to the mansion was because my father wanted me to. Now that father is dead, and I do not have responsibility as the successor until I graduate, there's no reason for me to come back to this mansion. Because when I graduate, I will live in this mansion for the rest of my life. It's stupid to let go the last free time of my life. But I won't hire anyone else. Please keep up your good work, Kohaku. Yes. Please come back here at least once a month, Akiha-sama. Okay, I'll try. It's time. My driver knocks on the door and tells me it's time to leave. Akiha-sama, is it really all right? What are you talking about? Are you going to say what Hisui said to me too, Kohaku? No, it's all right then. Take care, Akiha-sama. Kohaku bows. Leaving her in front of the gate, the car starts to drive down the hill. I look at the flowing scenery. Are you going to forget everything, Akiha-sama? I did not say anything when Hisui asked me that question. Because it's each person's choice. It doesn't matter to me if Hisui does or does not believe in Nisan's death. Hisui wishes that Nisan is alive. It's like wishing for a full count. It's like wishing for a full count game-winning Grand Slam. Seeing that my thoughts are meaningless, I laugh at myself. Because, well, that is also my wish. Are you going to forget about Shiki-sama? Should I have answered that it will never happen? I know that it's impossible for Nisan to be alive. Because the only way for me to turn back is for Nisan to give back his life. I know that fact more than anyone, but still, I'm believing in him just like Hisui. Because it's still there. I look up at the sky. The heartbeat that was there since I gave Nisan half my life. The load that felt like I had another heart in me. The beating is still there. It's weak and faint, but it's still there. It does not beat, and it feels like a rock, but I'm certain that it's still there. So while I'm disagreeing, I believe more than Kohaku or Hisui, or anyone else in the world, that Nisan is still alive. He's going to come back one day. I should go back to my normal life, since there's no problems. I come back to the mansion. I believe there'll only be a few more times that I'll be coming back to home like this. I got here earlier than I thought. I think aloud and allow myself some sentimentality. I'm in the forest. I've not set foot in this place since last night. There are too many memories here. The garden me and Nisan played around in as children. The night when we snuck out of the mansion to watch the stars. The enclosure of the trees when I talked with Nisan when he came back. And the forest where I woke up after that incident. He really is an idiot. I told him so much to kill me, and still, Nisan chose to sacrifice himself. I knew he would have chosen to do that. That's why I made him promise. But Nisan did not listen to a word of what I said. Yeah, he was like that since he was a kid. Nisan only did what he believed was right. He always sacrificed himself for others. Yes, whenever Hisui and I were scolded by father, Nisan took our blame. When I was about to be killed by Shiki, he saved me. And when I could not turn back, I didn't even ask him to, but I stopped the tears that were about to come out. I'm not sad. Rather, I'm mad. I'm really mad at this time. He only thinks about himself, and does not take into account how I feel. I really won't forgive him this time. But when the person to say this to is not here, to where should I release my emotions? Nissan is not here. There's no feeling that he's going to come back. The warmth in my heart is gone, and only the weight of what seems to be dead remains. That's the only certain thing in me. I feel uneasy when I think about it. I feel like giving up, that it might be useless no matter how much I try. I believe that Nissan is alive somewhere. That load inside me really is faint now, but it's still there. So I want to believe he's alive. I want to believe, but Nissan, if it's this quiet, I feel like I might forget someday. And I'm waiting for Nissan. But it's hard to keep my belief in him. The load's still in my chest. Well, it might be proof that Nissan is alive. I'm scared it might be proof that Nissan is dead. Jeez, I can't let anyone see me like this. I let out a breath and decide to head back to the mansion. And then I hit something with my feet. I could not see it under the leaves, but something is there. Hey, some metal blade that shines in the setting sun. Is it a hand sickle or something? It's dangerous for Kohaku to leave tools lying around. No, it's not. As I notice, I forget to breathe as I pick it up. Thump. Yes, only once. When I grabbed the knife, what was dead inside me came alive. I do not know what kind of connection it was. Was there a special connection between him and that knife? But still, for a moment, I could feel his heartbeat inside me as I used to. No, stronger than ever before. Something warm flows down my cheeks. Even after noticing it is my tears, I still do not wipe them away. He's alive. With just that fact, I cannot think. I don't know where he is. He doesn't tell me how he's doing. But I know. Nissan is alive. It was only once, but I certainly felt Nissan's warmth, and I was able to embrace it. I take a deep breath and swallow my words. I can believe. That heartbeat is enough. No matter what happens in the future, I feel like I can believe in Nissan and wait for his return. That makes me real happy. Yes, I will hold on to it for you, Nissan. I put away the knife that said Nanatsu Yoru and turned my back to the forest of memories. The forest is tinted red. I say goodbye to the forest which carries so many memories, because I can make new memories, and there are things I must do. I won't be indulging in sentimentality anymore. Now then, I go back to normal life. I go back to the normal life I'm having as myself. And no matter how long it may take, I'm going to believe that he'll come back someday. And keep waiting for him until he does.
Finn. Oh, God. Ugh. Ugh. In Kaigatsu Toyo, there's a short story that is a continuation of this ending. Okay. A short story? I read a bit of the synopsis of Kaigatsu Toya, and it was like Shiki was in a coma or something, and the whole thing is like a dream. Is that supposed to be, like... Kagetsu Toya has a lot of stuff like that. Okay. So Kagetsu Toya is not its own story, it's a bunch of short stories? Is it like that? You unlock a lot of short stories as you play through. Gotcha. Okay. That was something I noticed. Like, quite a few of these endings feel like they're going to continue off into something. And I guess they kind of do, right? Like one about Shiki's father. Okay. It has a big story and a bunch of side stories. Okay. Yeah, that was a good route. That was a good route. Do I like it more than Arcueid's? It did get a little slow toward the end. But I think it was, I think, yeah, like the whole thing with Yumizuka and everything, that was awesome. So I think I liked this one more than the first two. I don't know what happens in the short story in Kagetsu Toya. That is the continuation of this. So don't fucking tell me. Because we will eventually do Kagetsu Toya at some point. But, it feels like, I would imagine, if Shiki's body was not there, I have to imagine Seal would have picked him up. That's my guess. And sometimes it seems like the way Shiki's powers works is that there's lines and then there's points. And the lines break things down, and then the points are genuinely instant death. So he cut a line, but he didn't strike a point. So that's extremely difficult to survive, but maybe it's possible that Seal was able to use her church powers, or whatever, to just barely bring him back to life, and she's just like nursing him back to health, or maybe he's actually at the church in a coma or something. And that's why Akiha can still occasionally feel his heartbeat or something. That would be my guess as to that would be my theory as to what was going on in that ending. Maybe it plays out that way, maybe it doesn't play out that way in the Kagetsu Toya short story. We'll find out. Don't tell me. Alright, I think we will take Seal Sensei's lesson this time. You've reached Akiha's true ending. Well done! Each heroine, with one exception, has two different kinds of endings. Usually they're called true endings and good ending, but Akiha-san's are called normal and true. Akiha's route is different from everyone else's in that how much Akiha-san likes you does not determine which ending you receive. Well then, thank you for playing up to this point. Really? I didn't even know that was a thing. The next route is the one that hits really hard. Hisui? It's funny, because, like, I haven't been mentioning it, bleh. I haven't been mentioning it at all, but I've been pretty excited for Hisui, because she's my main in Melty Blood type Lumina. But I've recently discovered that I fucking hate Melty Blood type Lumina, so I don't play it anymore. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'll give that game one more chance. But I just feel like every time I play it, it just makes me so fucking angry. Best case scenario is that just ranked and matchmaking is really, really bad. And maybe if I played it with friends, it would be different. Like, if I played it with the boys that I played BlazBlue with, maybe I would like it more. But it just feels like it gives you all these tools to beat people with, and then when I try to apply those tools in the game, I can't seem to get the things that I want to do to work outside of training mode. And then I can't deal with all my other opponents as bullshits. Like, it's hard to explain without going into matchup-specific scenarios, but it just feels like everybody's bullshit, and it feels like my character's, like, bottom of the barrel tier, but I know that's not true, because I know that, Hisui Kohawk is really good, so I have to imagine that Hisui is at least kinda good. Anyway. So we did it! We finished Akia's route. We're 3 routes in. We're more than halfway through Tsukihime. That's pretty cool. Now things are gonna get tough. Because the holidays are coming. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Now that I've finished Akia's route, I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, because actually, I don't have a lot of time to stream tomorrow, because I have work later. And then... next week, and probably the following weeks, it's just gonna be tough. I think what I'm gonna do... man, I don't know. We might try to stream Hisui's route, but I'm gonna have to cut back on the days that I stream and how long I stream also. So they might be like really quick hour-long streams, unfortunately. We might have to just go by like 1 chapter at a time for Hisui, which is not ideal, but I just have a lot of things on my plate because of the holidays, so we'll see. But for now, we can relish the celebration that we made it through 3 routes of the good old Tsukihime 2000 visual novel. So, if you made it this far, anybody who came into the chat, thank you so much. Legendary Otaku JP, thanks for following. Goo Visuals, thank you. Eddie Donger... What the fuck is your name, dude? Eddie, thank you for... thank you for coming into the chat. I always like it when people come into chat. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching. Thank you for making it this far. Please follow my Twitch channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please follow me on Twitter for highlights and schedule updates. And we will continue with Tsukihime. And afterwards, we'll find out. We've got a whole bunch of visual novels lined up. We've got Baldur's Sky. We've got X-Blaze. We've got Umineko. I'm really excited for that one. We've got Fate Stay Night, of course. At some point, we'll tackle Kagetsu Toya. We might even do Higurashi. I really like doing this type of content, and I will keep doing it moving forward. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.